former Queensland Red superstars Aidan Toa and Dallin Murphy. Lads, how are we?
People, yeah, really good.
Very, very excited to be here, obviously.
Bit nervous.
A little bit nervous. On our bench, the battlers, the gruesome twosome, Big Fat Darcy, Ryan Fellini.
Fellow Terration, mate.
What do I ask him? I don't really have a question, mate. I love you, mate.
Yo ma, and welcome to the PAC Show, proudly brought to you by PAC Athletic Club and DoubleTake Sports, the show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, reviews, previews, news, and interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world. Tonight we are packed to the rafters. Joining me, as per usual, we have Dos and we have Dallin. We've also got the Battlers bench, Big Fat Das and the Kill Switch himself, but we're also joined by the Triumvirate. The Holy Triumvirate's back once again. Tino's in the house. Yeah. Tino, where have you been, man? What's
maternity leave, so.
Maternity leave. Nice. Yeah. Little baby boy.
He's pregnant.
Little baby boy. How old is he now?
Little baby boy. It's 9 weeks.
9 weeks.
Yeah. His name is Quagga.
Yeah, so
little,
want to give him South African name, but it didn't happen, so called him Spencer.
Spencer Cruz, yeah?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
That's
man.
cool.
Congrats,
Awesome.
that's
Yeah.
awesome,
That's
man.
real
Round of
cool.
applause
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Tino.
yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Lovely to have Quagga on the planet, mate.
Quagga Masese.
Yeah, Quagga Masisi. Yeah,
Hell yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man.
You got to add exclusives on the end of your initial chat too.
Well,
'Cause we come with exclusives.
Oh, we
now.
do come with exclusives. Yeah. Last week, the news that a hammer's going down in the Melbourne Rebels with zero fallout at all. How fantastic was that?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, why don't we just get straight into that then? Because now it's no. Tonight we've actually got a hell of a show. We'll announce it because joining us live from Wallaby Camp, Samu Karevi will be on the blower answering our questions fresh off the massage table. Dos teed that one up. Thank you very much. We've got tons of footy we're going to review as well. There was a Northern Hemisphere sweep. Thank you, boys, making me look awesome.
Jay and I have always said, Northern Hemisphere, any club team will beat the Crusaders
Yeah.
easy peasy.
Hell
I've
yeah,
always
man.
said that for weeks.
Leave my hat.
But before we go any further, it's time for PAC News Act.
Perfect.
Gets louder and louder in the earphones every week. But I love it. Makes me feel alive. First and foremost, we may as well address it. We saw Hamish Stewart last week announce, well, he didn't, obviously, Marv, on the PAC Show, announcing Hamish is going to be signing with the Rebels. And as a result, Dal, you probably have your finger on the pulse more than we do in regards to this. The QRU came out the day after saying that media is speculating, so clearly not us, is speculating Hamish has moved down to the Melbourne Rebels and they're looking to put the kibosh on it.
Yeah, I think it's something that probably will happen, but I just don't think it's a done deal yet. I think there's a want from a couple of sides with Melbourne and Hamish potentially, but it's not a done deal just as of yet. I think it's going to happen obviously when he gets back from Australia A, but it's certainly I think something that he wants to do.
Well, what's doing then? Because I mean, looking at a lot of the comments were sort of mentioning like what's going on at the QRU because the announcement as well. Toddy, the defence coach, he's going over to Edinburgh. Is it? You've got Hamish Stewart leaving. You've got a fair few senior players going out the door. Is this something actively coming from the QRU maybe to get younger talent back in, strengthen their squad?
Can't be much
from
younger. They're all leaving at 23 years old, ripe old age.
Or is there something else going on?
I think you look at it individual case by case, right? If you look at Luke Hahn, you look at Marf, and you look at Scott Young, you know what I mean? They've been there a long time.
Yeah.
And Marf even made the point last week, like he wants a bit of a sea change. Luke Hahn made the same point on the show, and he needed a bit of a change. So I feel like that's a different case scenario. Someone like Hamish, he's been there a while, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know on that one. But Michael Todd, I think the opportunity was too good to turn down.
Bloody oath.
He's over there in a more of a global space. It's probably a lot better money over there. You know what I mean? It's a better opportunity for him and his family. He might feel like he's done as much as he possibly can here. Yeah. So I just think that's more of an opportunity.
Hell of a rise for Toddy. I mean, Zach was saying, so he was coaching UQ third grade, started doing stats and analytics for the Reds.
Yep. Cleaning the change rooms.
Yeah, shit fell over. He finds himself running the defense, and then a few years later, NRC and a bloody Super Rugby AU title. And now off to Edinburgh.
Yeah, and very well respected. If you speak to any of the players in there, like he is very well respected, very well liked. a very intelligent man, obviously extremely hardworking. But yeah, a lot of the guys in there did really enjoy him.
Yeah, bloody oath. My brother coached with him out at UQ and just said he's no frills and just an absolute awesome bloke. I also bunted at that game you and I commentated up at Gladstone, the NRC game, City versus Country. Came back the next day and my brother's like, Toddy said you bunted him up at the pub. And I was like, don't remember that. So, was just pitting him like, just grilling him about something. I don't know, man.
Can we just,
He's a nice guy. He didn't push me away.
Can we just allude to the fact that a couple of people called us a media outlet?
Yeah.
Just a couple of lads having a dig, you know?
Right?
We didn't have to go to uni. Look at us, we're journalists now.
Yeah.
We're basically journalists. Amazing stuff.
It's true, though, man. It is called PAC News for a reason. We're useless, but let's discuss it then. Address the elephant in the room. Wallabies 17, England 25. DOS, Wallabies not their best.
Yeah, not their best. And, man, I just think they got absolutely ambushed. That
first 20 minutes.
That first 20 minutes.
Relentless.
Got choked.
Was, but it was brutal.
Yeah.
Like, it was brutal. England, they came with a real purpose. And I was just talking to Dal on the way here. I was like, isn't it amazing how you go from 1 week to the next week and the same team just perform so differently?
Yeah.
Obviously, and by all reports, Eddie was really calm during the week in terms of his messaging, and it's not far away. And then they come out 20 minutes and then a 19-7 lead at halftime. And then the Wallabies injury toll again.
Yeah, well, looking at it here, Pataya went off 3 minutes in with concussion. Parisi and Neville both knees. Izzy Parisi, that one was.
Does anyone know what he did? Because that was.
He was getting scans today, and if you go down,
he sort of come down and just.
It didn't even look that awkward. It's just probably one of those. If no one touches you and it's not like ugly, and you react like that, it's usually pretty bloody bad news. Scotty Seal went off with what looked like a pec or a neck or a shoulder.
Something, yeah.
The fact that it didn't hit his neck or his shoulder, sort of hit him on the top of the head, and he reeled away. Like, I thought straight away some weird nerve
issue. Yeah, so did I.
What do you do with someone like Jordan Pataya who
chronic
just injuries, no matter what it is, like for him to be a starting fullback, winger, centre, you train with them all week, you get an injury, and then your whole back line kind of has to shoot. It just every season it's
getting a bit better. I thought he was going a bit better, but
it's
you
a
can't really
weird
see
one.
that happening. He got concussed.
Yeah,
it's a weird one though, because his injuries have all been strange ones, like the Liz Franks foot injury, or this is a concussion that can happen to anyone. Like, he has these. It's not like, remember Chris Faiwai-Sortia was chronic hamstring issues.
Geordie's had a couple of hamstring issues, couple of hamstring tears. He's had shoulder surgery already. He's had the Liz Frank.
Yeah.
And
but it doesn't seem to be anything chronic, which I guess is a saving grace.
What do you do, J-Ball? Like, how do you escape injury for the last 20 years?
Just avoid
as
all
as a
effort.
media man, we've been doing our training.
Avoid all effort.
And
if you aren't actively involved in the game, you can't get injured. If you can't run fast, you don't tear muscles. If you don't tackle,
can't tear hammies you don't have.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Yep.
If
When
you're
I was
not doing anything, you don't get in trouble.
When Parisi went up for that ball, I was like, mate, don't ever jump. Just wait.
Just wait for it.
It's not worth it, man.
The Freeney
Not all
method.
day.
And just on it.
But
And
I
then you
mean,
retire, and then
when you talk about someone like Geordie, he just turned 18 when he made his Super Rugby debut, and then his acceleration into the Wallaby squad. It all happened really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that these young guys, after being there with Chris Faiwai-Sortia and just seeing what happened to him firsthand, it's like, man, it's way too much for these young guys. Just the load, and it's not the games. Like, he's a specimen, but it's all the training that goes involved, compounded with the games, and going from Super Rugby, taking them on the spring tour, playing in internationals. Like, for someone that young, like, you can only cope with so much. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the injuries are just a manifestation of his body just under constant pressure.
Do you reckon that game, though, like, back to the game, the boys still didn't give up. Like,
No. 19-0 down to
that
fight back to a 25-17 scoreline and be within a
Man,
few points.
I reckon
they should have taken the points.
At 22-17, they should have taken that 3 points.
that one.
Yeah.
3 minutes into 10 in the bin. Go for another 3.
Yeah.
Because you
we're
get
going to
your
go for
two-
line out.
get
Been
your
working
two
all night.
penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the
We're
size
confident
of
that
the
he's-
15 from England?
He's so
Oh
big,
yeah,
eh?
Freddie Stewart.
He's-
Mate.
Because I was
And he
like
is
7
he's
rows
so
on the
good, man.
sideline.
He's the best player in the air in the
Mate,
world.
yeah, he was
He's
just
a freak.
like, hey, and but mate, he was like,
He was like, what?
I think he's
I was just like,
6
because
foot
I saw this guy, he
5
was
or
out there, I see
something.
15 on his back. I was like,
Yeah. One thing though that was a topic of discussion again, Dal. I'll get your thoughts on this too, friends. The TMO. Not just this game, I think in the Kiwi game as well, both Dave Rennie and Eddie Jones came out talking about not specifically the deliberate knockdown rule, which is insane, which now doesn't even take in deliberate knockdowns, it's just not getting the intercept. But there was several other TMO inclusions that slowed the game down and probably didn't even warrant
Taniela's
inclusion.
clean out.
Insane.
bloody hell.
Insane.
Yeah, I think I'll just take it back to what we discussed. I think it was 8 weeks ago now. It's a lot of those things shouldn't be dealt with on the field. Like if it's past and the game has moved on, then just review it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And let's deal with it at the judiciary.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let it be dealt with
because
there.
what
Otherwise you're just losing viewers.
because then you look at the All Blacks game, that break with Johnny Sexton, I think it was Gary Ringrose was brought down, and the refs still watch it and they go, yeah, no, he probably wasn't going to score, so no penalty try. Yet he gets the ball, he has to run 6 meters while he's already running, and there's no one in front of him. So the refs are there's still grey area when they can go back and review it. The fact that it's there to take the grey areas out and it just makes it greyer is insane to me. It's so frustrating. Friends?
I don't know, man. I'm just fucking done with it. Like, there's some... Yeah, I don't know. What do you do?
You take it out of the game.
Yeah, no, but do you give the guys who are on the field at the time, like the refs, on the field at the time, the power to just make their own decision?
Yes, I've
Instead
said
of the TMO,
take
and
the
then like our
TMO out.
TMO basically is citing things like you said, Dale, maybe.
Yeah, but
The old rule was you have 2
Scoring
days
plays
for the
only.
the other team can cite the other side and then they can review it and go, yes, that is illegal.
What do we do about the intercept thing?
Get rid of it.
Yeah, no, but like, what do you so say for instance that that ball, if it had gone to that guy, he would have scored.
Yeah.
But what do you do? Like,
Well,
do you
the
just
rule
let it
used
just
to
a penalty,
be if
or-
it was a deliberate knockdown.
Yeah.
If you went for an intercept and dropped it,
Yeah.
they'd go, okay,
If there are
cool.
teams that
But
you're actively
now,
trying
if you
to
don't
retrieve
get
the
that
ball, yeah.
intercept,
Yeah,
that's
if
considered
you're
deliberate
like
knockdown.
swatting it down. But
But now,
yeah.
it's if you go for an intercept and you bat it up and you miss it, that's still considered a
I
deliberate
don't think
knock
that's-
on.
yeah,
It's
that shouldn't be. That's a bit-
insane.
yeah.
I've been thinking about it because, like, the beauty of like old school rugby was that the rules were relatively vague, but so much of it was like handled by the players on the field. Like, you're laying on the ball, you're gonna get booted. Like, you don't. But
I miss those days.
no. But like, it used to be, there were these grey areas, but they used to be able to let the game flow because it would actually sort of handle itself. Whereas now they're putting so much pressure and so much adjudicating into the referees themselves that
It's almost
now
about them.
they-
It's almost
they're
about
just
them.
putting-
It's like ridiculous.
yes, it's
It's
crazy.
ridiculous.
It's
I
absolutely
reckon
crazy.
definitely with that intercept one, if they're going for the intercept and they knock it on, it's a knock on. But if they're swatting it, then yeah, obviously they can do something about that. But far out, that's
It needs to be sorted out. Then we saw Ireland, historic win, first time in 115 plus years of playing the All Blacks that they've won in New Zealand. Dos, what are your thoughts, man? Do you reckon Ian Foster's going to get the arse before the next World Cup?
Man, I
Hope
don't
not.
know.
Because they're,
Keep him on.
like, I hate to say it and I hate to bring it up and I hate to, like, make that the talking point, but it is the talking point of that game. Like,
100%.
the Ireland were awesome, but it just comes back to it.
Poor Ian Foster's absolutely copping it on
He is
all social
getting
media
fisted,
platforms. All the memes are they're pretty hilarious. But mate, I don't know. Ireland have been, mate, they've been a good team for the last few
Yeah.
years.
They've won 4 of the last 7 against the All
A
Blacks.
team
too.
that has beaten the All Blacks consistently as well.
And before that, they hadn't won in 115 years.
Did you see that good meme though? It was like, yeah, well done, Ireland. You peaked once again a year before
Oh,
the
yeah,
World Cup.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
that's
tend to do that.
that's that's the perennial issue with the Irish. But mate, they were outstanding. Johnny
Yeah.
Sexton is 37.
Is he?
He is
He
37
runs like
years old.
he runs like an old Chinese granny pulling a rickshaw. He like hunches over and he's like, "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh," but he
But mate, just
47.
just an absolute tactician.
They're so
Yeah,
fucked when he's
a
gone.
masterful display.
Yeah, they're screwed.
Have they got anyone coming through?
Joey
That's good.
Carberry's a gun.
Joey Carberry's going, yeah.
Yeah, from New Zealand too. But we've spoken about it. We saw it with the Crusaders. I've mentioned it. We know so much, like us being Aussie rugby supporters, we happily love to say that the All Blacks cheat all the bloody time. But the last 2 games in particular, their discipline's been shocking. A red card and 2 yellows on the weekend
mate,
just gone.
Off Tuangavasi, he was lucky not to get red carded too, in my opinion. Maybe a bit too harsh, but like I thought the cards were fair, in my opinion.
I want to bring this up because I will never not think that a red card for a head clash is an absolute joke of a decision.
Especially when he's knocked out.
Yeah, I hate it. They're like, oh, like there was no mitigation. And I'm like, do you honestly think, like...
That came from the best ref in the game. That wasn't just like a no ref and he's just following the rules.
But it's ridiculous. The idea that, what are they trying to stamp out? People using their face to tackle players.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
fair
It's a
enough.
blight on the game.
Well, if you put it that way, I guess. I guess that's on me, huh? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. It's like
Oh, he's here.
not actually.
Everyone stop.
All right, Dash, shut your face, because joining us all the way from Wallabies camp, it's Samu Krebi. Samu, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, boys. How are you?
We're living the dream, man. How you holding up? Big loss on the weekend, but an absolute corker of a game. You guys holding up all right? You got your massage out of the way this evening?
Yeah. We had a day off. You guys can hear me all right? All
Yeah,
good?
we can hear you well,
loud
man.
and clear.
Sorry, just on the laptop. I've been telling Dossie my phone's. I still got an iPhone 7, so it's hard to do videos or anything on that. But
They're not paying. He doesn't earn enough yen to upgrade his phone,
Yeah.
apparently. Staying humble, I like it.
yeah, pulled up all good. Boys had a day off today just to get around each other and get more recovery in. But no, everyone's all good. Just disappointed about the loss.
And Samu, just obviously a great win in the first test, a disappointing loss in the second. What do you guys need to fix up to get that win at the SCG on the weekend?
Yeah, I think just for us, biggest thing is just our game, trying to get our game going, and obviously the discipline stuff hasn't been well for us. We definitely need to be more disciplined in the past 2 games, and when you got a guy like Farrell, he can hit 3 points, and they got a great set piece, so giving them the field advantage, it's never going to be easy for us. That's definitely one thing we got to shore up, but yeah, we're confident in our game once we get it going. You saw in Saturday night's game, I think we went into their half once in that first half, and we got points out of it. So yeah, just this biggest thing is our discipline.
Sam, obviously won in the first game, lost the second game, but the biggest theme for me has been you guys playing for each other. Like, it seems to be almost like do or die out there. Like, you're really bound together in both games. Is this something that Dave is instilling in you? Where is this kind of coming from?
Yeah, I got to give credit to our coaching staff. For me, I feel like I just recently came in last year, but they put a lot of trust in us. The last couple of years, they picked a young squad after Dave came in, and that's a title that we don't want anymore. We don't want that same thing saying, "Oh, they're a young team," and that. I think Dave's put a lot of trust in us. Has built a lot of culture within the team, and you see that flow onto their Super Rugby teams this year. Playing some outstanding footy, the changes of the tires and that. I think it's a flow-on effect from the confidence you get from Wallabies, and obviously it's vice versa. You play some good Super Rugby, have a good Super Rugby season. It flows on into the Wallaby season. So I think that Dave and the coaching staff has done really well in that space to grow the culture, to embrace all our cultures in the team. We've got a lot of Pacific Islanders, Aussies, Indigenous side and everything. So to embrace all that makes us really work hard for each other. And so when we get out on the field, really putting in for not just the guys on the 23, but the guys have been putting us through our paces through training and that whole squad.
Samu, mate, friends here. Hey, Darcy's just sitting there, like just not doing anything. Mate, you've been in Sungoliath the last couple of years and been lucky to play with some unreal players. Who's been the best on field to take the field with, like your Bowden Barrett, Tavita Lee, etc., and who is the best off field?
I'll start with on field. I think we've got. Oh man, I can't like with Baz and D-Mac, I can't pick them apart. I think I've grown real close to both of them, and for me, I've been in a blessed position to play with, some of the top class All Blacks in the world, and they're top class players in the world. So, shit.
You there?
You guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, just dropped out a bit. You're
all
back.
good?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't think I paid my Wi-Fi bill either on my phone. Sorry, boys.
You there?
Oh no, we've lost him. Have we lost him? Oh no, we lost Samu Karevi. No, he's still there.
There he is.
You guys, is it cutting off?
No, it's all good now,
You're back
mate.
now, man.
Hey, you better upgrade your data.
I think it's my data, boys. I still need to get a new phone as well and data. But no, I was just saying I can't pick out of Bodie and D-Mac, who's on field. I think they both bring something different, and I've been blessed to be able to play with two great All Blacks. But then you got guys like Tavita Lee, who just sparks it up for us on the field. I give him the ball and I just start running forward. To be honest, just knowing that he'll break some tackles and get the ball back. But I guess off the field, I'd have to give it to D-Mac. He's been pretty good off the field this last year, but Baz ain't too bad either. He's a bloody professional, man. Like pretty good on the field, but when he's off, he's off. Can't go into it too much. I might get a call from the All Blacks. So, no, but yeah, I'll speak about D-Mac. But he's awesome, bro. He was got real close with him. We had a little coffee club going, but off the field, he was good quality for the boys. So
No hard
real
feelings with Bowden and absolutely steamrolling him the other year. There's no banter.
Oh
about that.
yeah. When he first came into the squad, the boys were just always asking like, "You guys all good?" Or, nah, love Baz to death. I just water under the bridge for me. It's just something that happened. But he's awesome. Helped me out with my game a lot. At Suntory shows D-Mac. So to rub shoulders like guys like that, massive blessing, bro.
Mate, how good was it also on the weekend just looking into the grandstands and just seeing a packed house in Union again at Suncorp?
Oh, bro, it's unreal, eh? Especially wearing our Indigenous jersey and to almost have a sold-out crowd. Especially at home, and Suncorp's always special playing there. Got it about, obviously the result, but it's so good to play in Brisbane. Everyone turns out, and we get real good energy from the field and from the ground and the fans. But it's unreal to see something like that. But yeah, just guttering about the loss.
Sammy, mate, Big Fat Das here. Mate, when you first came into club footy or started your Reds career, who was the one guy when you were a young bloke and you had to play against in the centres that you were like, oh no, this one's going to be a big one?
And why is it Big Fat Darth?
And why was it me? No, because back in my day it was Lloyd Johansson or Junior Palisasa.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying
who was your Junior
the Lloyd
Palisasa?
Johansson
Yeah.
to Samu Karevi?
Yeah. No. Who was his guy?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, because I think my last year of school, maybe, or my first year out of school, I came to Jeeps, and to be honest, it was Taps, the Tapawai brothers.
Rex and Ben.
Yeah, for me, like, cause especially I looked up to Taps a lot because he was kind of like the first Islander at the Reds that kind of like had a similar body shape where he's a ball runner, but was trying to get real skillful, like someone besides Nonu that you watch on the international stage. So, because I was a Sunnybank junior, seeing those guys play at Reds and then kind of playing club footy, I think my first game was played like Colts, and then they were kind of the two that I was kind of looking at, thinking. Sorry, did you get me there?
Yeah, we got you.
So Someone just trying to call my phone.
I was going to say, did Fringe just send you a dick pic or something? Your eyes lit up.
He's squinting. Squinting off. Where is it?
No, I was at the Burley Pub on the weekend, so just making sure that's something from there on the weekend. So. No. Yeah, it was probably the Top Boy Brothers and who was I think it was Bondi at Brothers. Was Bondi playing Brothers at the time?
Yeah.
He was so good.
Yeah, he was. I think he was like my first game I played, and that was the first time I played Premier Rugby. It was against Brothers, and I remember like they were just talking shit. I was like, as a young guy, I was like, bro, what's going on? Like, he was just like telling me to run it, and they weren't going too hard at me. I think they were going just at the G, but like. You know, you're known for as the filth, and like just the crowd was going. And as a young kid, I was just like, bro, you can't be mean like that. Like,
Why are they yelling at me?
Love it. And Dallin.
Yeah, why the
and
hell?
Damon at the back just.
I just, yeah,
Was that when we won 49-0?
I just got here, so it was that's probably when I was growing up, and then like once I started played with Freeney there, kind of got confidence from Shane Arnold. Like he was massive for me, bro. Instilled a lot of confidence in me, and he was kind of like the first coach that dropped me. And ever since then, I was pretty keen to play.
You talked about your the skill sets there just before with Taps and yourself. We saw in the first test a lot more than we've seen previously. Some kicking from you. Is the kicking and that distribution part of your game, obviously got the powerful running, is that something that you've been consciously working on over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, bro. I've been working on it the past 3 years at Suntory. So it's Seth Fangase trying to call me. Watching it, trying to stop, bro. So, it's just like I've been, in his moon boot, his fake moon boot.
He's probably got gout. He's put the moon boot on.
It's true. It's true that he put the moon boot on just so he didn't have to play on the weekend, so he could go to Lucan's going away. Hey,
Allegedly.
I'm,
Oh, no. This is a shit show. That's going well. You're back, Simon.
Sorry, boys.
Supples, tip.
Well, I'm no snitch. I'm not gonna say anything about Seth. But all I can say is I'm pretty sure he can run well.
Supples, Tino here. I've just got one question. Can you confirm or deny that Luke Hahn's coming into the camp this week?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think he definitely is coming in along with Mark. So be good to have the big goose in camp.
Nice and
It
hydrated.
brings a lot of. Oh yeah, I was hydrated, so that's all right.
Well, Khan.
But it's question. To answer Aiden's question, but yeah, I've been working on it for the past 3 years at Suntory, bro. They're big on growth over there, and the coaching staff has helped me heaps. Every Wednesday, just doing heaps of kicking and passing, just so I can be comfortable. If I have to pull it out, I can pull it out. But I just work on my running game. It's my strength, so I'm trying to stick to it.
Well, Khan is obviously coming into the squad, as you touched on, as well as Marky Mark, as injury cover, because we saw on the weekend Geordie Pataya with that concussion, but what looks like long-term injuries to Izzy Parisi, Caden Neville, and potentially Scotty Seo, coupled with, Isaac Rodder before the tournament. We saw a couple last week, Andrew Kellaway and all that sort of stuff. The injury toll is rising, obviously, within the camp. I think 11 out of the initial 35 are now on the injury list. Samu, does that sort of dampen the spirits, or does that sort of bring you guys closer together? You got new guys coming in, it sort of rejuvenates everybody, and you tend to have to bond together to sort of kick England's ass next weekend, essentially?
We just keep it moving, bro. It's part of rugby. I know, you sign up for rugby, you understand injuries part of it. It's more dampening for us, like knowing what those guys have to go through now. Rehab and so we're just getting around those guys, especially guys like Iz and that. If anyone who's got long-term injuries, just getting around those boys. It's obviously that's probably the dampening part. Is like just seeing your mate go down.
Yeah.
Even seeing a guy like Toji go down for England, like you never want to see that stuff, you know. It's part of the business, but we've got to keep moving. We've got to keep our preparation going, and guys that move, as they step into the squad, you know, they don't have to fill anyone else's shoes. They just got to be themselves. Bring their energy in, bring their personality, and you know, learn our systems and that. And we just, again, like I said, just keep moving.
And what's on the radar for you in the future then, Samu? Obviously, you're over in Japan at the moment. Are there sort of inklings that you might come back to Australian rugby? Do you want to come back to Super Rugby? Like,
Stylesy giving you that open checkbook yet?
yeah.
Are you the third housemate with
Yeah, sure, Alex Marvin.
Alex Marvin?
Do we have another
Have
exclusive?
we got bunk beds?
Yeah, I watched I watched last when Lecky was in the podcast and he was dropping bombs and
I don't think he knew what he was doing. Yeah.
We're all like, what?
yeah, I don't think you know what you were saying there, cuz.
It's fine. It's fine.
But if you, so
Yeah,
you can.
I saw Akko at Captain John and came up to him. I was like, man, you need to do a better job, mate.
He sent
Yeah, he was
me.
just having a laugh about it.
Atco sent me a DM on Instagram. He was like, "Dos man, stay off my turf."
Yeah,
I tagged him in it. And I was like, we are better than Atco.
yeah.
So when you go to the Rebels,
It's still, it's still up in the air. Oh, I've been telling I keep just saying to all the boys, Burn City, baby, Burn City, just geeing everyone up. Still all up in the air for me. Like, you know, I was pretty set on Japan and stuff. Like, I'm loving it there. It's basically my home at the moment. I got my two brothers there, and you know, I've spent more time with my brothers in these last 3 years than I have in my whole life. So, like that puts things in perspective for me, in terms of family. So, like I'm not gonna shy away. The money's great. It helps me with my family and stuff like that. You know, especially as Dossie knows, coming from the islands is a lot more than just yourself. You've got to look after. But you know, it's a responsibility that I love about playing footy. But it's just there's a lot more things I got to assess. But at the end of the day, money will be obviously one thing. But just seeing how my grandfather, I'm really close to my grandfather here in Brisbane. So wanting to spend more time with him and be around him. He's getting a bit older, and you know, I don't want him kicking the bucket anytime soon. So just wanting to spend more time with family is probably the biggest thing that will pull me back home.
That's awesome. Samu, just touching on the group you've got at the moment in there at Wallaby Camp, what does it take as a group this weekend to knock off England? I mean, obviously coming off the loss on the weekend, how does it go from that to winning this weekend?
For us, it's like I believe it's all a mindset. You know, we have confidence in our abilities. We have confidence in our systems and in each other. I think it's just putting it out on the park. You know, we don't shy away that we didn't play our best footy on the weekend, and that first 10, 20 minutes we didn't bring the physicality that we needed to bring, and we knew England was going to come out throwing punches, and we just didn't handle that well. So I think for us is a mindset going into this weekend. With our preparation, you know, we prepare really well. But I think it's just the mindset, getting out on the field and putting everything that we've spoken about and trained all week to out on the park, and I know we'll play really well.
The battle of Ellis Genge and Tupou, who do you reckon won that, mate? We could stir the pot here.
Hard to say. I'll back Nella.
Yeah,
but
how good, mate?
yeah, I
Ellis
thought
Genge
Genge plays really well. Yeah. Oh, man, they're all decent, but Genge, you know, he's a guy that takes their pack forward, not just in the set piece, but in their phase play, and you know, he's a great leader for them in that England pack and in the England team, and even with his club team, you know, led him to that championship. So, he's had an awesome season, and he's a beast that we've kind of got to watch out for.
Loves to niggle, that's for sure. Big Fat Dash, you've got a question?
Yes, mate. I've got a hypothetical for you. Mate, say you had what you thought was a really close mate, right? And You went to his engagement party, and turns out it wasn't actually his engagement party. It was actually his wedding, right? Now, he'd actually got married a week before, but he only invited close friends and family, and you didn't go. Do you think that you'd then consider him a close friend? This is what J-Boy did to us. This is what Jay got married without us. They didn't tell us.
Yeah, what you're leading out is that I've never considered you a close friend.
Okay. It's official. It's official.
Oh.
Jay, we had a very unsuccessful podcast for 2 or 3 years, right? We saw each other once a week, right? Tino wasn't even there. Right now,
I'm heartbroken for you. Guys.
thank you. Finally, somebody said it. Thank you, Samu. I will take that as an apology, J-Ball. Thank you.
I love you, big fat ass. You're just a huge pain in the ass. But yeah, Samu, thanks so much for joining us, brother. We really appreciate it. We'll be cheering you on this weekend as you belt the Poms down at the SCG. It's at the SCG for some reason, not too sure. But say la vie. But hopefully we see you in Aussie Rugby again soon. Hopefully we can see you at the Reds or maybe down at the Rebels. But, mate, all the best and we'll be cheering you on.
Cheers, boys. I appreciate having me on. Try to come down to the show when I'm free. Cheers,
Hell
guys.
yeah, man.
Love you, Samu.
Bloody oath.
Thanks, Wingman.
Love you, Samu. Round of applause, everybody. Samu Karevi.
What a man.
That was good times, man. What a man.
He's heartbroken for me as well.
His
right?
kicking game, though, hey, you're right. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
Yeah. He's becoming almost a complete
Invincible
player, which is ridiculous, man. Yeah. Like modern day Ma'anonu. We can't really say that because Ma'anonu is like 50, but he's still playing.
I think he's a much better player than Marno.
Whoa!
Yeah, no, I do.
Agree.
I think his skill set just outweighs Marno. Marno was obviously a freak, but I just think he keeps developing, keeps getting better and better.
His
every
progression
year. It's incredible.
has been massive. And the thing is, you tend to find that players, when they do go overseas, more so they do go to Japan, because they are playing a sort of, lack of a better term, like lower grade of footy. Sometimes they can go off the burner, like Malcolm Marks, for example. But there are players like Bowden Barrett somehow came back.
How do they come back
blew his game
more
up?
physical?
Yeah.
Playing against tiny
like they
Japanese
seem
men,
to come
right?
back.
It's amazing.
They're becoming more and more complete footy players, which...
Marika's kick was... You know that kick that he came off the left foot? I was like, where did he get this from?
I think that's what's called a fluke.
That was hilarious.
Nah, mate, he's absolutely killing it. And let's get him at the Reds. ASAP,
I mean, and so
please
much
and
more
thank you.
influential than Ma'anonu as well in terms of the results of the game, the influence that he has on a game. I think it's so much greater. But Japan is a place, and Dal can speak to it as well. I mean, people do know it, as you said, as that lower level competition. But man, the standard, the caliber of people that they're getting over there, as well as the coaches.
Yes.
Mate, it is top quality rugby.
You got guys like Jake White, who was coaching over at Toyota Verblitz just a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Robbie
it's
Deans.
quick. The contact zones aren't as physical as what they are as we have in Super Rugby and obviously in Test Rugby. But I mean, for someone like Samu to keep up with the pace of the game, pace, and especially at a team like Suntory where the expectations are that high from your foreigners, it would have taken him outside of his comfort zone in terms of having to push those passing skills, those kicking skills, being that link between the forwards and backs in the way that they play the game. And you see it in full exhibit in Test Rugby, which is great to see.
Well, just a couple more things. We're going to get back to the PAC news things I want to discuss. We saw a Southern Hemisphere clean sweep last weekend, going 4-180 friends. Northern Hemisphere. 4-0.
They just had to do it. It's like the boys just had a week off. It's fine. So I'm pretty sure South Africa fielded their D side.
Yeah, that was shocking.
And Wales just beat them. But, look, I'll eat my hat. I'm sorry.
I think the Northern Hemisphere teams just went off and did their research and had an awesome game plan. Like all three of them played exactly to a game plan, and all the Southern Hemisphere teams had no.
I think England also, Eddie Jones was like, you guys need to win this, otherwise I'm going to lose my job. So
then they would have lost it. Yeah. All right, is that all we had to do?
You're going to lose your job. Oh, sorry.
They come in going, yeah, we won. It's like I get to stay on. They go,
thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
I nearly, buddy.
He was at the UQ lunch or something, wasn't he?
I think he was on Friday.
Yeah, they had McLennan, Eddie Jones and someone else making speeches, but before a test match.
Making speeches.
They did make a speech.
And Dal, you're at
Mate,
the
Dal?
brothers one.
Yeah.
Who was there, Dow?
Wish I was there.
Right?
We had Mertz,
That's pretty good.
Oi.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
He's good value. Hey?
Andy Marinos, Campese, and Sarah Naguama. She was very good
Who'd
too.
Wes have?
Yes, sir.
Sandra
Like
Guama's
Greg,
great.
all the groundsmen.
Greg All-
Everyone spread some seed out in the field, right? Do an Evie walk.
Another thing as well, Fiji got their asses handed to them, got their asses whipped by Australia, 32 points to 18.
Just wasn't a good week for you, Freeds, was it?
No, man.
No, to be honest, it was a positive as well, seeing the boys get up. But I'm just saying, Fiji had a decent side, and the boys just fucking went out there and absolutely tore them a new one. It was good. They did, didn't
just
they?
like
They
you
actually
thought.
they
Absolutely.
played very well. They played so structured. They just kept to their game plan, and then Fiji had nothing except Tuisawa, who's like, that's
What about you, Tino? I think you said in the PAC Show WhatsApp chat that Fiji would beat Australia.
I did.
Smash
At the next World
Australia.
Cup, at the next World Cup, they will.
Good cover up. Good cover up.
Oh, that little bit of the message.
I said a
must
lot
have
of
gone
things.
through.
Yeah, wasn't.
I say a lot of things in that group chat. And then Samoa, 34 points to 18 over Tonga. Tonga, mate, they're
don't start. Don't say it. Don't say it.
they're
They
not.
played a good 40.
They gave it a go.
Those are two.
Yeah, Tom Afuna came off. He was absolutely sucking through a straw. Big fella.
Yeah, he was
But he's
gas.
shored up the right side of the scrum, that's for sure.
He
but
did.
he's-
But they got out to a pretty good lead and then got chased down. So there's still a lot.
and that's without their stars, though. They probably played better.
Well, when they had their stars, they lost 36-0. So it's tough to say. Of all of them, they probably have the furthest to go, but they've got
Did you see?
they've got the squad. They've got Kef.
Fafita got his clearance today.
He did.
Yeah.
Shit,
pretty
there
cool.
you go. There's a
That's
big
pretty
one
good.
right there.
That's a big signing.
And that's something they
Leo
need.
Fafita?
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember him that he played
Yeah.
for All Blacks back
Huge,
in the day?
That's someone they
That's
would
good.
need a good
Really.
quality second rower /
Just a good
six.
forward, just to
Yep.
Yeah.
yes.
Help shore it up. Another thing as well, we'll touch on it, but last night, Jesus Christ, the junior Wallabies, they got fisted. 60,
what was the
that was
result?
69-12.
I was trying to watch it on stand. It wasn't on.
69-12.
No, it was on.
Yeah, I know it was on, but I think that I couldn't find the highlights or anything. I'm not sure if they put it up now already. but-
Nah, yeah, it's up now.
Yeah,
Stop
sweet, sweet.
bringing it
It's
up.
sorted
There was
now.
an
Sorted-
issue.
it's
Stop
sorted now.
bringing it up. Stop drawing
Oh, Zachary, was that your fault? Oh, wow.
Stop drawing attention. Yeah, 69-12.
69-12.
Mate,
They were
what happened?
clinical.
What happened? Walk us through it.
They were just clinical.
The
They were
junior
so
All Blacks.
How good's their 10?
Mate,
Ken's good. Lucas Cashmore.
He's a gun.
they
Is he
just,
Adrian Cashmore's son or anything?
Uncle, I think. Is
Oh,
Adrian
yeah.
Cashmore.
Maybe. Remember
They-
98?
they were
Auckland Blues,
just-
so gun. Anyways.
What position?
Clinical.
Is he? What
Yeah,
position
he's a
was
fullback.
I think,
Adrian
was it
Cashmore.
39-0 or
40-0 at halftime.
40-0 at half time? And then the Wallabies didn't get on the board until they were 49-0 down or something.
Is
Yeah.
it? Well, obviously we've lost that crop. They're obviously gone up. They were
Over
Success-
half the squad are still eligible to be under 20s next year.
Yeah,
they're
okay.
young.
So that's a good thing.
It is.
And was the New Zealand crop the second year out, or were they?
A lot of them are older, yeah.
Yeah.
They've got. I think they've got 9 guys in their squad coming back.
Yeah.
So the majority of them are old. And
Mate, and like we said the other week, like last week, they just look professional. They are.
And I mean,
jacked.
New Zealand in these tournaments, they tend to only pick 20-year-olds.
Yep.
And I find, like, when I go back to my 20s tournament, like we had Gilly, who was 18, starting for us at 7. And we had a lot of guys who were that 18, 19.
Which is massive.
And we came to the final against New Zealand, and man, it's just that physical, that development difference between
Rung above.
18 and 20. Exactly. They're basically men, and just
And they've got
it
a
was
strong,
similar, it was a similar
strong
scoreline.
under-20s academy system down there. They have their, like they play Waikato versus Auckland. Like
Yeah.
they've got an NPC, and what is it?
It's
Yeah,
super,
NPC.
it's super rugby now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. They've got a
Under-20s,
Super Rugby
yeah.
under-20s competition. So they're happy to keep the 18, 19-year-olds in that and then select the top tier to go over. So
They look like a
'Cause
team
they've
that
got a
didn't
development
make
program.
14 changes the week before. Right? Look like a team that's played 2 weeks in a row together.
Yeah. There's actually chat that they're trying to bring Queensland and New South Wales into that system.
That would be sick.
Oh, into that one over in New Zealand.
So when
That
they
would
play
be
the
sick.
tournament, they bring Queensland, New South Wales over to play as well.
That's awesome.
Holy shit, that would
It'd
be
really good
awesome.
for Australian rugby.
That would
That'd be
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Bloody oath it will be. All right, well, that rounds out PAC news. Now it's time for the Battlers bench to shine. Hit us out. Can't wait.
Rugby show, the people are represented by two separate, equally important groups. The learned, well-researched, presentable, highly motivated panelists, and also the Battlers bench. Filled with sloppy, opinionated, underprepared, but still sexy, never worse, whose demeanour is heinous in nature. These are their stories.
I did it again.
It's your segment.
Is it? Our segment. Well, what we've been working on, we did the same kind of thing we did from last week, but we did it with the shoot shield. So don't look at that. So we did mergers of the teams. So Zachy, could you throw up the first thing we got?
This is going.
Is that me?
Dos, you were 5 of them. That's just something I'm working on. Now, what I have for next week is
They're outstanding.
I got another big thing for next week. But what I thought I'd do is we've gotten to know Dos a bit, Dal a bit. Let's get to know Friends a bit. Now, I dug back through the archive and I pulled up an old video of you back when you were a junior footy player. So if we just roll this video. So this is Friends back in the day. This is before retirement 6, I think. Wait, and then check out the smile, bruh. Yeah. Oh, what a naughty boy, Friends. Oh. So that was you. What year do you reckon that was, Friends?
Yeah, it would have been 2010 when I first went to Stingrays. Right?
I was going to say,
Oh, yeah. Was that
Definitely
pre-Stingrays or
No,
post-Stingrays?
Stingrays.
The years we got in the final. That was 2010.
And then, so that was at the start of your career, and then I met your friends, and then we, this is when we hired that van. Right, this is our friendship blossoming. You're not much of a talker. All right.
We're in Amsterdam.
You look good like that, right?
We're in Amsterdam.
Yeah. And then,
It's all legal.
and then, oh my God. I've got better stuff next week. And then, and then we got to having fun, whining and dining and dancing.
So you want to go to a real party?
Yeah, Munster there at the Cameron
You
Munster.
do look like Cameron Munster. Remember we went on that boat? That was crazy. What a night! And then we were, and then I got a little steamy a little bit later, but I don't really want to talk about that.
Yeah.
What I do want to talk about. Do we have another one, Zach? Or was that it? Oh, I didn't send it.
It's all right.
There's one where. That's about all. I'm working on this other thing with jerseys for next week, so that's all. Okay, actually, Zach, can you play the Addams Family one again? So, Dos, when the family's all together, you'll see 5 of them on your face. No, not that one. Not that one.
This is a shit show. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's showtime, guys. That's you. See, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. See, it's very short, but if you look very closely,
We're all in it.
6 DOS. So, something I'm working on.
Should I be concerned at how much Uncle Fester actually looked exactly like me?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit.
I have the option
Same
like,
body and everything.
to
Same
switch
shoulders.
heads, and I'm like, obviously Jay
Still
is
Uncle Fester's
Uncle
better
Fester.
than the Penguin.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm going to write in my Samsung notes.
How much did you look like Munster?
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
That's pre-alcohol ban.
That's true. That's it for Battler's Bench. Next week I've got.
Back to you, J-Ball.
Oh, thank you, big fat.
I've got
Darcy
rugby-related
friends.
material next week.
We needed that.
Oh,
I think we needed a break.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of Samu, like a lot of rugby chat. just
Samu.
because-
You're such a parlungi. Yeah, Samu Karevi Bula, mate.
Hey, you're dating a white bird again, right? Okay. So, you need to readjust, bruh. don't know where they came from. I apologise.
No.
The bra at the end. I don't know. I never talk like that. Not since I've been talking to Samu.
Oh my god.
Dig up, stupid. Oh man.
Anyway,
I think we should get Samu as maybe we'll get him a new phone, right? iPhone 8 maybe, and a new Digicel data plan or something.
I'm so sweaty, man. All right, let's get this shit show back on track. All right.
That was great.
Hospital Cup was on the weekend. They had all the catch-up games for round 4. What are you looking at, Freed?
I don't know.
He's reevaluating. He's like, do I need to
really
readjust?
stung
how I-
him.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, I was like, he's just looking at us. He's like, what's going on, man?
A bit of head noise.
He's so cut.
So much, man.
He's so cut.
I'm not cut.
I don't know if we've got the instant replay feature, but hopefully you got
That
that
would've
on
been
camera,
good.
Zach. We can bring that up again, man.
He's
That
heartbroken.
was like,
Sorry.
oh man.
He's really thinking about things.
Yeah, that was like.
I'm okay.
Let's plow ahead. Let's plow ahead.
God. All right. Hospital Cup.
Hospital Cup, round 4 catch-up games. Yeah, all the catch-up games were played over the weekend. Some pretty big score lines on in all 3 games. West and Bond obviously played that round, so they weren't playing anything. East 50 over Norths 19.
Oof.
I don't
pretty
think
good.
Norths were in it until about 40 points. East were
I
up.
think East scored 4 or 5 unanswered tries.
Yeah.
North came back with a few, but then they ran away with it.
Four
Yeah.
brothers, four sets of brothers.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
That's pretty
Yeah,
Unreal.
feel good story.
that was
So I bring
awesome.
that up.
Yeah. That was a nice little Instagram post for the Tigers.
Yeah, bloody oath, man. Sorry, I'm just feeling a bit weird. Jeeps 41, Sunnybank 24. Yeah, dispatched them as we anticipated. But the game
Miley Noamo, special
Picked
shout
up
out.
4
Four meat
tries.
pies. Oof.
and didn't feature in anybody's rugby of this week.
Oh,
Dog
well,
ass
Jesus.
friends.
Well, that's what happens when you're in the back of the mall.
Don't act like you didn't park yourself there.
Yeah, we were
hundreds of
big
times
drive, maulers back then, but anyway, let's move on.
Okay, then Brothers 39, Souths 20. Billy Bully picking up a hat-trick in the final 10 minutes to blow this scoreline out. But Souths were right in this. They were right in it, friends. And, mate, like Brothers won as we were anticipating. But I want to discuss, the reason I want to discuss this game was primarily because of Souths. Souths, we've seen, they won the 2 Colts premierships 2 years ago, I think it was, Dal, and then so much of their squad last year was Theo Fourie and those younger fellas in there. They've now got some big signings having come in, George Francis, Matafa and so on. But they don't seem to be progressing as well as we probably would have thought, friends. Like, I don't know.
Because obviously I've been down there a bit before the Misses game, and they're like, their skills are good. They're like a
Very
far
skillful.
side. They've got some awesome players. I thought on the weekend their set piece would let them down a bit because they were sort of, it was sort of tit for tat.
Yeah.
And then that bloody Jackson Evans, a 7. He was just doing crucial things at crucial times, like getting that turnover when they were getting a bit of ascendancy, and it just like, he was unreal.
But it's just a bit weird. We saw last year, I think, Dal, you and I were saying last year, I reckon you're probably going to see Souths are going to take some good scalps, and they started to at the back end of the season. I think they did. The Doggies in at Chipsy Wood. Like, they were showing these signs that they were progressing, but I think only 2 wins thus far this season. Probably not what they were anticipating at this point of the season, considering the signings, considering they've had the squad together for quite a few years now. Like, Todd Demmer's second year, Chris Latham joining them. I don't know.
I think they're in a pretty good spot. They got some good young players there. Still, let's use the word young for a little bit, but I think they lack a general.
I was just thinking.
I think they lack that ability to actually steer them around the park.
Yeah.
or
Luke Samoa.
Yeah, Luke Samoa.
He's playing Friday
Roman
nights.
Prasad down at
Yeah, I heard you guys
Against
winning
us?
about
Mate, it
that. But like
Still
just
got it.
like sitting behind the try line or whatever, and you're listening to them talk. They are quite young. You know what I mean? You don't have sort of a couple of the older heads sort of, calming him down or whatever. There's a bit of, towards the end, a bit of bickering or whatever for whatever reason. But
Oh, really?
It wasn't. anything bad, but it's just like you can tell that they're just a bit young.
And probably got to them a little bit, being so close with 10
Mate,
minutes to go.
They won the day as well.
They
won the Shield.
They're dominating every other
grades,
overall,
yeah,
right?
in grades.
Yeah.
I think
In
Jeeps only
Resi's,
beat
they're
him
really
in
good.
Prems the other week. Like, I'm pretty sure that might have been and the girls and the Prems are the only ones who won against South the other week at home too. Yeah.
It's because Jeeps are shit.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Deep cut.
Yeah. No. But look, I think they've got all the makings to be awesome. I just think personally, I was just so excited to see them this year start to take more scalps, so much more time together. I thought they were really going to kick on. So hopefully they can, the back end of this year, get a few more scalps. But to each their own. Shoot Shield round 14. South 22-28 Sydney Uni. There was some big wins down there. Big Tino 31-12. The Wildfires over the Two Blues. The Rats went down at home 36-19 to Randwick. East pumped Eastwood 35-5. West Harbour beat Manly 22-21, knocking them off the top spot on the ladder. But the game we wanted to discuss, Tino, North's 22, Gordon 25. This was a bloody good game of footy. But I think you were saying before we went live, North's just seemed to start like they're their own worst enemy with their starts.
Yeah, if they have a poor start consistently, it's hard for them to fight back during the game.
Yeah.
Like Gordon, first half, all over them. North came back with the late try at the half, but just crucial penalties, crucial mistakes. Vailanu played real well for Gordon.
Mahe Vailanu
and the two
was
centres,
awesome.
Emery and Alessandra Pola. Oh man, they're gone. I don't see why they don't get a contract next year somewhere.
And we saw again, speaking of the deliberate knockdown, the try for North's in the corner, Jack McGregor going for the intercept, and then penalty try, yellow card, despite the covering players coming across. But again, a deliberate knockdown that wasn't.
I think every ref has his own interpretation. Obviously, the commentators or what we saw, it was clearly gone for the intercept. Just didn't go his way, but it is what it is.
But harking back to what we were talking about before, the All Blacks game, the Ringrose brought down and then the referee saying, no, he probably wouldn't have scored. On the weekend, that try there, that was given as a penalty try, despite the fact they were 6 metres out. If he does catch it, Pola and another, I can't remember who it was, Gordon player were coming across in cover defence, probably would have scored the try, but the referees and the touchies said, yep, penalty try, they awarded it. No one gave a shit. They made the decision on the field, and it was much less a penalty try than the All Blacks game, yet people are talking about the All Blacks game and no one gives a shit about that call because it happened on the
Shoot Shield.
Oh, Doss, you so salty.
I'm looking at him. He just the steam's coming out of his headphones.
People do watch it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do,
Sorry,
but no,
sorry.
it just harks back. I'm like, leave the
I was
referees
waiting for him to say something.
leave the refs to ref, and then leave foul play and other things to judiciary.
Mate, they just need to get a bit more ticker and just make a call. Make a call.
100%, and they did.
I think people
and
probably
Jack
respect him
McGregor,
more too.
who plays for the
Instead
Force,
of going,
went, okay.
TMO, what do you say? And then he
exactly.
goes,
The referees would have so much more
penalty try.
respect if
penalty try.
the referees would have so much more respect if the TMO was out of the game. 100%.
Yeah.
They would have so much more respect if they made
But
the
then
call.
when they
stuck
stuff up
with
a
it.
try and then we're like, you should have gone to the TMO.
No, keep TMO for
tries.
tries,
Yeah, yeah.
but keep
Like
them out
League
of
used to be.
everything else.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
then it'd be like, that's not how I saw it. Just boom,
Yeah.
whatever I said goes.
Exactly.
This is what happens in normal club rugby. And
It
just-
tweaks me. But we saw at the end there, Tino, Gordon with the 79th minute penalty to go 25-22, and then Nathan Russell with a shot at goal 40-odd metres out, shanks it.
Oh.
Wasn't very good off the boot all day, and that one was probably his worst.
Yeah.
Hurts, man. It hurts so much. That's got to sting. But, I mean, that just goes to show the strength of that comp. Anywhere, Sydney Uni's now on top, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's 2 wins between 1st and 8th, I think.
Yeah. It's
So-
crazy, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's nuts, man. It is congested. It is good times all round. Now it's time for our Rugby of the Week segment. We'll start with you, Tino. Your rugby from this weekend. Who was it?
Gareth Anscombe. I thought he was ice in my veins. Came on 12-3. He came on a crucial point, kicked those 2 penalties, and obviously set
Here
up
it
that
is
try
here.
for Evans in the corner.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, I just thought his defence and what he brought to the Wales team, just even though like people say that wasn't our South Africa's best team, but Still
one.
Still the
Win-to-win.
World Cup champions, mate.
This is a win-to-win.
We better say our best team.
They were saying they're not our best team.
It's all right, mate. They're playing in Bloemfontein. Very much beautiful.
And friends, your rugby from the weekend just gone. Jackson Evans out of the Brothers
Jackson
Rugby
Evans.
Club.
Keep forgetting his name, mate. He was awesome.
Oh yeah,
he's just relentless.
No, just don't tell us about it. It's all good.
No, he was.
He's just really
very,
good.
very Matt Jekyll sort of like, but probably puts a bit more shots on. He was insane. He was just everywhere, and he was making crucial turnovers and
Good low chop.
yeah, and he was
He's not a big dude either.
No. But,
Do
yeah,
you
he
know
was
much
just
about him, Dow?
So he
His-
played
yeah.
Premier Grade, I think it was 2019, and had a really,
What?
really good season. And then started for them for the most of the year.
Yeah.
Picked up an injury, and then the last couple of years, last year he played number 12 in third grade.
What?
Because he wanted to play in the centres, and they kept trying to bring him up. He's like, no, I want to play
He's
centres.
doing a Corey Oates kind of thing.
Yeah, and
So I
then
wanna be a second row.
I think obviously just through injury, he's come back in, but he is a class player.
I wanted to be a 7 too, but I just
Like he is absolute
Well, he
class.
plays fifth grade,
fast
right?
enough.
He's very, very
Yeah, you can play 7.
And I'm
just
like, oh, well,
Friday
I guess no
night.
one wants to play front row, so I was going there. Trying to learn how to throw.
Big Fat Das.
Yeah, mate.
Your rugby from the weekend.
I went
Courtney Laws,
Courtney
the English
Laws.
skipper.
Just
he was good.
for a bloke to be that tall and to be that mobile and athletic, he's just changing. Like it's going back to the large, really athletic sixes or whatever. He's like
Very
he's like-
Matt Cobain-esque.
mate, big
I
time.
miss him, to be honest. Big athletic sixes.
Yeah. So he's just he was just everywhere, man.
He was.
And
he
he
was
just
very
he,
massive.
he brought the aggression, and a lot of blokes just didn't have any. He's just another strike weapon that they had. And
What do you guys think of that 10 for Ming? I don't know.
Marcus Smith.
Yeah,
awesome. Unbelievable. One of
Do
the
you
best
reckon?
players in the world.
I reckon
He's so
through
sick.
for Harlequins he's been awesome, but then I don't know. In tests he just sort of looks like an under 10 superstar that just kicks and just has a dig. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
mate,
not sold yet, man.
Watch the Six Nations. He was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but not here.
But I
at the
suppose,
moment.
yeah. Six Nations is shit house.
Oh wow! They win one game. Good, congratulations.
All right, Dow, your rugby from this week, Owen Farrell.
Yeah, Owen Farrell, I just feel like it's probably the best game he's played in a while. He stood up massively and he needed to. He was in everything. He was absolutely everywhere and almost kicked him to the win. 20 points. Like it's pretty
Big
impressive.
boy too, eh?
Yeah.
When you see him in real life.
Hits early, hey.
Yeah.
Yes, I was about
Couple
to
of
say
bone
his
jarring
defense.
hits.
There was that shot he put on Samu
Yeah.
Prev. He came over the top, riffed the ball out, gets in there. He doesn't shirk
I think
contact,
yeah.
but I just hate his guts. So
Similar
much.
to Johnny Wilkinson, I mean, he's so crucial to, I think, the results. We talk about Samu being influential. I think he's the same. The first game was quiet, missed a couple of kicks, and then they lose the game. A game they probably should have won in the first test, and then this game, didn't miss one off the boot. I think he missed one off the
Missed
boot.
one late in the game, but
Defensively was great. His relationship with Marcus Smith, the way they played together, is is getting better. But yeah, he was great.
I always used to consider him more of a Johnny Wilkinson kind of a bit of a cat kind of a player, but in the last couple of years, his physicality. I don't know if he's now because he's outside Marcus Smith. He's like, all right, I'm going to take on a more
He's always been
aggressive role.
physical.
or whatever.
mate, Johnny Wilkinson, I reckon, is like
He
one of
was
the best
physical too,
defensive
yeah.
tens ever. He used to delete blokes.
He was mate.
Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Who was that South African bloke that used to
Bring
just
up.
come over
There's
to
like
swing it up?
YouTube highlight.
What was that?
Butch
Oh,
James.
Butch James.
Butch
Butch
James.
James. Yeah. Duet Barry was.
I had a-
he was,
Yeah, Butch James was a thug.
yeah. He was so
Now that's a
good.
tackle.
He
in
was
10,
such
right?
a piece of
Well,
shit.
there's no Yanni
He was
to be up,
massive
but-
too.
He was huge, and he just shoulder charged people.
Wait, and he ruined his shoulder for
Yeah.
some weird reason. That's weird.
Mate, Johnny Wilkinson was tough as.
Johnny Wilkinson used to smash blokes.
so good.
He's probably
Owen-
the best defensive 10 in world rugby.
And Owen, mate, he's physical as.
What? Oh, physical. Okay, all right. I'm wrong.
Thank you. Say sorry.
Dossie boy, yours, the Irish 10, Johnny Sexton, your rugby.
Sexton, man, just 37 years old, orchestrated an Ireland win in New Zealand for the first time. Doesn't have
Watch
the
him
nicest
run.
best race.
Geez, those hammies are
The
tight.
hunchback of
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
But him being on the field all game, that was a massive
got
difference.
skull-
I think
Scoliosis.
and he's huge for them.
Too many potatoes.
The way he sort of moves the ball around, they
Yeah.
like to play that second line of attack.
Yeah, they're
And
good
and
at that, aren't
and
they?
And he takes the ball just nice, square to the line every time. He keeps the All Black defense guessing. He's
Yeah.
playing front line, he's playing back line. Out the back. And
One
just-
thing as well, like Owen Farrell, you don't necessarily see it so much, but he never
physical.
shirks contact. Never shirks contact.
It's the
Like
adrenochrome, man.
he's not as physically dominant as Owen Farrell, but you can see like he's
It's
still.
adrenochrome.
It is adrenochrome. Yeah, he's got adrenochrome.
It sounds wrong.
That's the shit that people on QAnon say that like all the rich people inject into their bodies
Yeah,
and that to
adrenochrome.
keep them young and shit because it's from stem cells.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're like, they take it from dead babies. And they're like, no, if anything,
Which
it could
they
be
found at
manufactured in a
Brothers.
lab. But
Which I talked about last week.
yeah, that was
All
a
right, let's
weird
move
one,
on,
man.
let's move on, let's
Let's
move
push ahead. My rugby has to go to Andrew Porter, the loose head prop from Ireland. First win
Yeah, double
in
win,
New
double.
Zealand in 115 plus years for the Irish, and the loose head prop scores the only 2 tries of the night, mate. And not just that, work rate around the
Yeah.
field. Again, a big body who in
Huge
this
body.
is he's doing this in the 60th odd minute. I think at one stage he does a tracking tackle on Rico Huani on the outside and looks to put pressure on the breakdown in the 60-something minute. Like he's pretty much the perfect example of like a modern day front rower. So guys like him and Nella,
Freeney.
and Ryan Freeney.
Mate,
Exactly.
Tug Furlong. How big's that unit? And he's quite mobile for how
Yeah,
big
he
he
is.
is. Too.
He's
Just a
thick.
huge lad.
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Big country boy, Ty Furlong, man. Loose. Anyway, well, that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Show. Another absolute barn burner in the books. Thank you, Doss. Thank you, Dallin. Thank you, Tino. Thank you, Big Fat Das and Freeney. Zachy Boy on the 1s and 2s. Thank you so very much. And thank you all for tuning in this evening. Be sure to tune in next week as we're obviously going to be reviewing the Wallabies getting up over the Poms at the SCG. But between now and then, stay safe and have a good one. See you later.